Okay, so hi everyone, good evening, and welcome to Uptick's email writing workshop called Email Writing in the Era of TLDR. Allow me to share my screen with you. Can you see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with a few questions. You guys, how many emails do you send out every day? Or you're the only one I can see. Okay, so
Many emails a day.
Okay. And how many emails do you receive every day? 20 emails. Okay.
15 to 20, yeah.
15 to 20. Now, you guys tell me, what are some of the challenges that you face on a regular basis when you write emails in English? Would anyone like to answer this question? No? Okay. Yeah, I would love for this to be interactive, but if you don't want to participate, it's okay. But if you do, I would love for you to talk a little. All right. So what do you think that this workshop is going to be about? What do you think it means to write emails in the era of TLDR? Anybody?
Being concise. We have
Being
a lot
concise.
to say and we want to say a lot to our users. So
Okay. Hi, Neri.
hi.
Okay, being concise. Yeah, definitely. Anything else? No. Okay. So you guys, before we get this party started, allow me to introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. So my name is Noah and I'm the founder of Uptick. I was born and raised here in Israel, in Rosh Hashanah to be exact. And I moved to Los Angeles at the age of 12 when my dad had decided to follow his dream of becoming a Hollywood screenwriter. So I'm a non-native English speaker. I was born and raised here. And when I was living in Los Angeles, that's where I developed my love and passion for English, which blossomed into a profession and a business called Uptick. I've been teaching business English for 10 years, for a decade. I moved back to Israel at the age of 16. And right after the army, I started working for one of the largest providers of English language education for adults called Wall Street. I was teaching both general and business English. And at the same time, I was studying for my bachelor's in behavioral science. And then once I graduated, I continued to teach business English on my own while studying for my MBA at the Academic College of Tel Aviv-Yafo and getting my teaching certificate from Cambridge University. I founded Uptick a couple of years ago to help professionals in Israel's fast-growing international business ecosystem gain relevant and practical English skills while boosting their confidence to new levels. Now, what do I have in store for us today? So we're going to start off with a fun exercise called Spot the Knot. So through this exercise, I will teach you the do's and don'ts of email writing in today's business environment. And then we'll talk a little bit about the differences between casual and formal style English. Okay, let's get started. So on the screen, you will find an email that was written by me, an account manager at Acme, to a new account/client that I have recently received as a handoff. So I want you to take 5 minutes to spot all of the things in the email that you believe should be either removed or changed in order for the email to be more effective. Okay, so let's take 5 minutes. Just write down all of the mistakes that you spot in the email. Let's take 2 more minutes. I'm reminding you that we're spotting all of the things that should be changed in the email. Okay, are we ready? Yes. All right, so before we start analyzing this email, what do you think about it? Do you think that it's well written or is it poorly written, in your opinion?
I would say poorly.
It's poorly written? Okay. So, Neri, what is the first thing in the email that strikes you as odd? What is the first thing that you would change about the email?
Okay, so I would change the what's up, and I'm missing an introduction, the name, or nice to meet you, something like that.
Mhm.
And I would remove the, I mean, there's a space between the word and the period and the first line.
Yeah,
I can
definitely.
list a lot of things, but I would say that I'm really missing an introduction and
But let's back up for a second. What do you think about the subject line?
very poor. Too
Okay.
general, says nothing.
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing that is not right, I wouldn't say not right, but the first thing that we should change about the email is definitely the subject line. Hey is not a good subject line. Writing something like hey or Monday or question marks or just leaving the subject line blank is a big no-no. A subject line needs to be simple, specific, informative, and attention-grabbing. For example, following up on our call, campaign meeting, sales report update. So all of these subject lines are simple, specific, informative, and attention-grabbing. What can be a good subject line in our email?
I would personalize it maybe with the name of the person I'm sending the email to, and I
You
would
would write it in
probably
the
say,
subject line?
yeah, that's what I usually do. Um, I think it's an attention grabber. And also I would say something about an introduction maybe, or
Okay, good.
something like.
So I chose the subject line, your new account manager at Acme. All right, now this Strudel sign is at. So instead of writing at, you can just use this, this symbol. Now, in addition to this subject, what do you think, what else is not right about this email? Before the lack of introduction.
Exclamation mark after the name.
Yes. Okay, so the greeting, hey, is not an appropriate greeting to use when you first introduce yourself to a new client. And the exclamation point is definitely aggressive. So here are a few examples of more appropriate greetings. So hi, first name, hi, Neri. You can also use good morning, good afternoon, good evening, first name. We use hi team, hi everyone, or hi all when we send the email to a group of people as opposed to just an individual. And we use dear hiring team or dear customer support team, etc., when we don't know the name of the email recipient. So these are our two key takeaways. Please make sure that you avoid using hey and exclamation points in your greetings. Questions? Next. So instead of, oh, you guys, please mute yourself. Okay. So instead of, hey, Ben, let's change the greeting to, hi, Ben. Next, what else is not right about this email?
What's up? Maybe I hope you're doing well or something like that will be better.
Okay, good. So the opening line, what's up, is definitely inappropriate. Instead of what's up, which is super casual, and instead of overusing, I hope this email finds you well. So you guys, I like constantly when I get emails from, in general, when I get emails, the opening line is always, I hope this email finds you well. There are a gazillion other options that you can use other than I hope this email finds you well. For example, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're well. I hope all is well. I hope you're feeling great. I hope you're having a good weekend if you're sending it on the weekend. I hope you're enjoying your holiday if it's a holiday, of course. I hope you're having a great week. I hope your week is going well. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed your weekend if it's a Sunday in Israel or a Monday if it's not in Israel. And what else? I hope you had a great trip or vacation if they just came back from a trip or vacation. Now, you guys, have you heard of Aptic's email booster cheat sheet? Yeah. Okay. So if you haven't, we have an email booster cheat sheet. This is what it looks like. So it's a document that contains dozens of email phrases that you can use when you put together an email. I will definitely send it to you after the workshop. So you have here table of contents, and at the very beginning, you have several ways that you can kickstart your message politely. So you can start it with, I hope. You can start it with, thank you, or apologize if you need to, but I hope that you don't. Okay, back to our presentation. Can you see it? Yeah, can you see the presentation? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
But one thing that I want you to remember is that an opening line is not always a must, especially if you've been corresponding for some time. So sometimes I correspond with people for quite some time, we've sent each other several messages, and like in every message, I see the opening line, I hope this email finds you well. There's no need for that. And in this email in particular, I would drop the opening line in order to just keep it short, sweet, and simple. Okay, so I'm just getting right into it without an opening line. Next, what else can we change about this email?
maybe I'm your new account manager. Maybe something more delicate, but not so straightforward.
Yeah, like what?
Like my name is Noah and something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, 100%. So I forgot to include my name in the opening line, or maybe I didn't think it was necessary, but it's definitely necessary. So let's add my name. My name is Noah, and I'll be your account manager. Now, you guys, this is something that I see all the time. Feel free, feel more than free to use contractions. What are contractions? So instead of saying my name is, say my names. Instead of saying I will be, contract it into I'll be. Instead of saying I cannot wait, say I can't wait. Instead of I have been working, I've been working. Get used to using contractions in your emails, but also in your speech, especially in your speech, because without contractions, the tone of a text can sound a little robotic. So this is super important. And for those of you who write copy, so meaning social media posts on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, etc., this is especially important because when you write copy, you want to relate to the person who is reading your copy. So it's extremely important that you use more, not slang, but more casual language in order for the message to come across well. Okay. Next, what do you think about the period at the end of the sentence? So I don't know if you can see
This
it.
could be a comma.
It could be a comma. No, it should be a period. It should be a period, but
No, there's a break.
yeah, there is a space between the last word of the sentence and the period. The space shouldn't be there. So the period always comes right after the last word in a sentence. There shouldn't be a space in between. Next, I look forward to work with you and can't wait to help you get the most out of our product. What can we change here? There are a couple of things that can be changed.
First, I think it's a sentence that should be by the end of the email, not at the beginning of the email.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Good. What else?
There is a grammar mistake, like hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. No, we can't. Ori, what were you saying?
There's a mistake. Should be I look forward to working with you and can't wait to helping you.
Okay, so the first thing you said is correct. We don't say I look forward to work with you. We say I look forward to working with you. Now, this is a very, very common mistake. You guys, we don't say I look forward to work. We say I look forward to working. I look forward to meeting. I look forward to chatting, etc. So after I look forward to, there's always going to be a verb and ing, unless it's not a verb. So you can also say I look forward to the lecture. Okay, now why is that? The reason is that every time we have a preposition that is followed by a verb, the verb is always going to be in ing. What is a preposition? A preposition is in, at, on, from, to, about, for, all of these short words that connect between two other words within a sentence. They're always going to be, when they're followed by a verb, they're always going to be followed by a verb plus ing. So in this case, to is a preposition, and therefore the verb that follows needs to be in ing. Okay. So I look forward to working with you. What else can we change about this sentence? Okay, so basically, can't wait to, and I look forward to are practically the same thing. So there's no reason to repeat the same thing in a sentence, right? So instead of saying, I look forward to working with you and can't wait to help you, you can just say, I look forward to working with you and helping you get the most out of our product. Does that make sense, you guys? Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, cool. So Maya, you said that maybe it would have been better if it were placed at the end of the email. I mean, I can agree with that, but I also think that it's not that it's misplaced. I think that saying I look forward to working with you at the beginning when you're just introducing yourself to someone is definitely appropriate. Okay, what's next? Let's read the next sentence. I've been working in sales at Acme for the past 3 years, starting out as a business development manager and working my way to account management. Is there anything that you would change in the sentence? Should the phrase account management be capitalized? No. So oftentimes people think that they need to capitalize the first letter of important information, but that's not the case. So please avoid capitalizing words that simply sound important to you, but are not names and or the first word in a sentence. Okay, just because a word is important or maybe like the main idea of a sentence doesn't mean that it needs to be capitalized. Now, I have 2 different questions for you. First question, why do we say I've studied my team's notes as opposed to just I studied my team's notes?
Because you're still studying.
Because I'm still studying?
No.
No, not necessarily. Then you would say I've been studying.
I'm studying.
Yeah, I have been studying. Anyone?
Maybe because you want to say something in the present that was resulted of your studying.
Yeah, okay, good. So you guys, this is the present perfect simple tense. Now, I know that grammar is our biggest nightmare, but it's not too bad, okay? So the present perfect simple is a tense that connects between the past and the present. So we use it to talk about something that happened in the past, but has some sort of influence on the present. Okay, so in this case, the fact that I studied in the past, that I studied your team's notes, means that I'm now prepared to take care of you, to be your account manager. Okay, so again, we use the present perfect to talk about something that happened in the past. It is finished, but it has influence on the present. Okay, let me give you another example. I have bought a new car. All right, why do we say I have bought a new car as opposed to just I bought a new car? Because now I have a new car. Another example, I have started a new job. Why I have started a new job as opposed to just I started a new job? Because now I'm doing something different. Now I have a new job. So it's something that happened in the past, but has influence on the present. Questions? No, but there is one thing that we need to keep in mind. If we have a finished time phrase in the sentence, we cannot use the present perfect. So if I were to say, I studied my team's notes yesterday, yesterday is a finished time period, I wouldn't be able to use I have studied. I would have to use the past simple and say I studied. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this was my first question. My first question was, why do we say I've studied as opposed to just I studied? And the second question is, why do we have this apostrophe S at the end of team and company? Why do we say my team's notes and company's challenges?
I think because it's not like when you add s for he, she, they, it. It's like the team. I don't know how to explain it, but
Team
it's the other
is,
s.
and then you just
Related, because it's related to it.
Good, because it's like,
Association.
yeah, so we call it possession, shayachut. So it's not is and it's not has, it's called possessive s. Okay, so it's my team's notes, like the notes of my team. Company's challenges, the challenges of the company. Now, possessive s, you guys, is something that is super, super important. Now, oftentimes I see non-native English speakers avoid the use of possessive s, and instead of possessive s, use of. Okay, so instead of saying my team's notes, I hear people say things like the notes of my team, or instead of saying the challenges of your company, instead of saying your company's challenges, they would say the challenges of your company. But it's important to learn how to use possessive s, because when we use of instead of apostrophe s, it can be a bit awkward sometimes. All right, like saying the notes of my company is a bit awkward. Questions?
So what it's better to use?
Apostrophe s instead of.
Okay.
Okay. What do we have next? I will be more than happy to have an introductory video call with you to discuss how we can help your company further. What is not right about this sentence?
It's not a question.
Yes. So first of all, it's not a question. What else?
then we can say I'll.
Okay, good. So we can definitely contract. Anything else? You guys, I will be more than happy. What is the more formal and polite way? No, let me ask a different question. What can we change? What can we replace will with in order for it to be more polite and formal?
Would.
Would, yes. Okay, so instead of I will be more than happy, you can say I would be more than happy, and you can also contract I and would to form I'd. Or you can just say I'd love, because I think that I will be more than happy is it's a bit of an overkill, like you'll be more than happy. Let's not get carried away. I'd love to have an introductory video call with you to discuss how we can help your company further. Now, you're right that the question mark at the end should not be there because it's not a question. Now, you guys, oftentimes people use a question mark, or actually they see a question word in a sentence and then automatically think that it should be followed by a question mark. Not every time we have a question word, we need to add a question mark. Okay, so let's replace it with a period. Next, feel free to book a call in this link. It won't take long. What do you think about this sentence?
Using this link, maybe.
What did you say?
Using this link.
Using this link. Yeah, so using this link or through this link, but you can also say in this link.
Oh, okay. So maybe a comma instead of the period.
No, we need to use a period.
It's redundant.
What is redundant?
It won't take long.
It won't take long because, yeah, it's redundant. So Lital, what would you use instead, if anything? You would just remove it?
Yes, that's what I meant.
So you would just remove it. Okay.
Feel free to book a quick call and then don't need the next.
Feel free to book a quick call. Okay. So, okay, nice. So feel free to book a quick call. That's a good through this link or in this link. Any other suggestions? Okay. So instead of saying it won't take long, I want the sender of the email to tell me exactly how long the meeting is going to take in order to eliminate unnecessary back and forth. Okay. So if someone were to send me this email, my response would be, how much time do I need to block for this meeting? Right? I want it like, do I need 10 minutes or do I need an hour? Right? So instead of having this back and forth, let's just let our let's just let our recipient know how long the meeting is going to take. Okay. So we can write, feel free to book a 15-minute call in this link. And I would also add whether it's a Zoom call or a phone call, again, to eliminate unnecessary back and forth. So this is exactly what it means to write emails in the era of TLDR. You need to include as much information as possible while making sure that you're not, like overloading your recipient with information. Okay, so we do have to be picky, we do have to be selective, but at the same time, again, avoiding unnecessary back and forth. So,
Noah,
yeah,
can I ask a question on the previous sentence, please?
this one?
So, yeah, I love to have an introductory video call.
Yeah.
Maybe we can omit the with you words in the manner of like reducing the number of words in the sentence.
I'd love to have an introductory video call to discuss. Yeah, definitely a possibility. Yeah, that's an option. Okay, good. Now, you guys, do I have a mistake here? Do we say feel free to book a 15-minute call or feel free to book a 15 minutes call?
Minute.
Minute, yes, without S, right. Keep in mind that in English, we don't have plural adjectives, okay? So that means that we cannot say a 15 minutes call or a 10 people company. We need to say a 15-minute call, a 10-person company. I know that it sounds a bit odd, but yeah, we say a 10-person company, a 5-star hotel, and a 2-year partnership. Again, we don't have plural adjectives in English. Questions? No.
I have question. What's the maximum amount of person or people that we can use in a, like, can I say 20 person? No.
Yeah, of course, it's unlimited.
What's the limitation? That's my question.
There's no limitation, it's unlimited.
Unlimited. Okay.
Unlimited, yes. Okay, good question. All right, next, what else should we change here? If you don't have time for a video call, but you do have questions for me, then you can always email me, call me, or send me a text message. What's up here?
You need to give the number.
Okay, you didn't give the number. That's
I think it's too long. You can say, you can reach me any way you want or something like that.
okay, good. You can reach me any way you want or through any channel of communication. Good one.
Yeah, it's an overkill here.
It's an overkill. Why?
So maybe please don't hesitate.
Yeah, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Without, like the first part, without if you don't have time for a video call, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Too much me. Call me, email me, send me.
Yes, exactly. So there's no need, if you ever spot the same word twice, or God forbid, 3, 4, 5 times in a sentence,
Something wrong.
you know that something is wrong. Okay, so in this case, I used me 3 times. Email me, call me, or send me a text message. That's way too much. So instead of repeating me 3 times, we can just say, you can always email, call, or text me. Okay. Now, another thing that I would like to point out, and this is super, 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 super important. Okay, I'm exaggerating. What? Okay, so when we have a list in English, as opposed to Hebrew, by the way, I think, before, and, or before, or, we need to have a comma. So before the last item in the list, we're gonna have a comma. Okay, so email, comma, call, comma, or text me, period. Questions?
No, but it's a good point because I would guess it's the same as in Hebrew.
Exactly. I'm pretty positive, I'm not 100% sure, I'm pretty positive that in Hebrew, we can't use a comma before ve, right?
Yeah,
before
of course,
and.
yes, you're right.
Yeah, so it's different from Hebrew.
זה לא אותו דבר. זה מפה, אבל זה לא מפה.
You guys, if you're not muted, can you please mute yourselves? I don't even know who it is. Oh, okay. Okay, so another thing that I've added here is instructions regarding where the reader can find my phone number. So I've added in parentheses, you'll find my number in my signature below. So again, I try to eliminate unnecessary back and forth instead of like, you know, him writing, okay, so what's your number? I can just tell him that he can find my number in the signature below, even if it's obvious, you know, even if it's like, they see your signature, so they should know how to contact you. Don't take that for granted. All right. Don't assume that your recipient will automatically understand that they will find your number in the signature. So there are a few things that we can take away from the last sentence. The first thing is that we need to avoid repeating the same word in a sentence. The second thing is that we need to use a comma before and or in a list. So again, email, comma, call, comma, or text me. And the third thing is that we need to avoid unnecessary back and forth by including as much information as possible. So again, we can write, feel free to book a 15-minute Zoom call in this link, and you'll find my number in my signature below. And lastly, what do you think about the way that I signed off? Do you think that it's appropriate to say thanks?
Maybe best regards or regards. I mean, it's not formal. It sounds like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds too simple.
I think there's nothing to thank here. Like if you were
I love it. No, you're right.
Ask it what?
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing to be thankful for.
Like if he was asking for something in particular, like he could say like thanks in advance, or someone he don't know, like this person, he don't know him, but just thanks, and he didn't ask for anything in specific, so it's not really related.
So I see your point. I definitely do. But I think that if I'm asking you to book a call with me, I do need to
Call to action.
Thank you. Yeah, I do need to thank you for like, blocking off some time in your schedule to meet me. So I'm requesting something. So I do think that thank you is appropriate.
Maybe he's looking forward to hear from you or something like this.
So we've already used look forward. I wouldn't use it again.
Okay.
But okay, so first of all, thanks is okay. but we can make it a bit friendlier by saying thanks and have a great rest of the day. So the entire email is not super formal. So I wouldn't write something like, I don't know, like kind regards, which is super formal, right? If you are going for a more casual tone, so this tone should be evident in your entire email and including the sign off as well. And here's a list of a few other ways that you can use to end your emails. So we have regards, best regards, thank you, thanks, best, all the best, and cheers. Any questions? No. Okay, so that was our first exercise, spot the knot. And the last thing that I would like to talk about today is the distinction between formal and casual styles of English. So there are two main things that differentiate these two different styles of writing, and it's the use of acronyms and the use of simple language in casual correspondence. Acronyms and abbreviations are usually used in casual correspondence, as I said. Now let's put your acronym skills to the test. Tell me what each acronym stands for. So what does NRN stand for?
Not right now.
Good one, but not quite. NRN stands for no reply necessary. So let's say that you write something and then you want to tell your recipient that there's no need for him or her to respond. So you can just write NRN at the end of the email. Next, HTH. Hope that helps. What about LMK?
Let me know.
Let me know.
Good. WDYT.
What do you think?
Good. FYI.
For
For your information.
Yes. WFH.
Working from home.
Yes. EOD.
End of the day. End of
day. Yeah. Yeah. How would you use it in a sentence, by the way?
Let me know by the, or something like that.
Good, good. So you can say like, let me know by EOD. Okay. Or I will do it by EOD. Good. IMO, what does it stand for?
In my opinion.
Yes. IDK.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. FWIW.
For what it's worth or something?
Yes, for what it's worth. Good. Okay. Lastly, in addition to using acronyms and abbreviations in casual correspondence, we also use more simple vocabulary words in casual correspondence, but sometimes the situation requires that we level it up and use more sophisticated vocabulary. For example, so on the screen, you will find a casual sentence. I would like you to think how you can turn it into a more formal sentence using more sophisticated vocabulary. So here's the sentence. There are no other ways to increase the company's money. Again, how would you turn it into a more formal, sophisticated sentence?
Instead of the money, I will put the funds.
Or revenue.
Funds, okay, revenue, good, good. Anything else that you would change about it?
Maybe we've reached our limit.
We've reached our limit. That's good. Okay, nice. You guys are creative.
Maybe company budgets.
The company, but yeah, definitely. Okay, so this is what I have. We have exhausted all possible avenues to grow the company's earnings. It's a bit much, I agree, but yeah.
What's avenue?
Avenues is like ways.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like a more sophisticated word for ways. Let's do one more. the company is not using all of its resources. We can say the company's resources are underutilized. Okay. So this is kind of the difference between casual and formal. Here are a few more words that, a few more casual words that can be turned into more formal vocabulary. So more is, I would say, is casual. And if you want to turn it into a more formal word, so you can say additional. Instead of right, you can say accurate. Instead of talk about the subject, you can say to address the subject. Instead of so, you can say consequently. Instead of now, you can use currently. Instead of speed up, like speed up the process, you can say expedite. We need to expedite the process. And instead of didn't, you can say fail to. So instead of saying we didn't manage to find another X, you can say we failed to find another X. Now, in the slides, this is slide 69, you will find the big list of big words. So there's a huge list of casual words and how you can turn them into more sophisticated vocabulary. So this is an amazing resource that you can use when writing formal emails. So make sure that you check it out in your free time. There's like a gazillion words on there, so it's definitely helpful. So speaking of resources, at the end of the workshop, I will send you another email. I've sent you quite a few in the last couple of weeks. So the email will include the email booster cheat sheet that I talked to you about at the beginning of the workshop. It will include these slides, so you can feel free to go over them. And it will include a recording of the session. Now, before we say goodbye, before we wrap up, I would like to tell you a little bit about Uptick and what we offer. And I would also love to get your feedback. So if you can just stick around for 5 more minutes, I would really, really appreciate it. So Uptick is a 9-person startup company. We're half bootstrapped and half funded by investors. And our vision is to become the most effective solution for tech professionals who are interested in taking their English to the next level. Now, this is what we offer today. We have a one-on-one program for teams and private clients called the Fluency Formula. So basically, the Fluency Formula is an extensive one-on-one program of 3 months to a year, where we cover all of the elements of business English, which are fluency, grammar, vocabulary, accent, pronunciation, and writing. We offer it to private clients and companies that wish to invest in their employees' English skills. Next, we have UpTalk. So as part of UpTalk, you get to hop on a call with one of our coaches for 25 minutes. So you can either do it 4 times a month, 8 times a month, and 12 times a month. The first 20 minutes of the call are dedicated to talk time, and the last 5 minutes are dedicated to feedback. And lastly, we have Uptick's Writing Assistant, formerly known as Claire. And as part of Uptick's Writing Assistant, my team and I are available to you via WhatsApp during all working hours to help you with your emails and social media posts. So a human being, like an actual person, a writing expert, helps you upgrade your texts. So it's super, super cool. And if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me. I love to get your feedback. I always want to know how we can serve you better. And honestly, I want to develop like a closer relationship with all of you. So if you ever have any feedback to me, or if you feel like something is missing, I would love to know how we can better your experience with us. So if there's something that you would like to say, please stay here. You can also email me. This is my email address, noah@uptick.co.il. And that's it, you guys. I hope that you found this workshop valuable. I promise that we're going to have a workshop once a month. And that's it. So again, if you would like to stay and chat with me for a little bit, I'd appreciate it. If not, so thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to join me this evening, and I will see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you.
Thanks.